Greetings, it is Brother Man Trucking. There's this repair shop next to Mr. Charlie's place. He works on cars and semi trucks. He saw me one day, saw me at a distance, didn't quite recognize me. Then he went on. That evening, I went in there, I had to get something, and he said, "I thought that was you. I knew you looked familiar." He says, "What are you doing working for Mr. Charlie?" I said, "I can't run my truck for free." He looked me square in the eye and he says, "You're not the only one saying that. A lot of his customers that come in there are saying the same exact thing. And this is just hearsay, according to him, and they are selling their equipment." I'm assuming the way that he was saying it, that they still have debt on it, or a loan on it. They're selling their equipment. He says, "But you own your truck, or you own your equipment." See, yeah, I own it. I said, "I'm just letting it set right now until I, figure out what I want to do." He says, "Hey, I understand." So then, got what I needed, took off. There's this trucking company that I used to see running up and down the road. Decent equipment, Peterbilt's, construction industry. And, occasionally, I'll pop in, going over to Safer and pop in, the DOT numbers or the name just to see what's going on. This particular carrier has 30 trucks and 22 drivers. Actually, it's a little bit more, but we'll just keep it, even numbers. Under operating status, it says not authorized in red letters. I say, oh, it appears like they were doing well the way that they were running up and down the road. I mean, I don't know what the situation is. I'm just going off of what Safer is. Could be a mistake. Could be, I don't know what's going on. So I'm looking at the information. I'm scrolling down. They don't have any insurance on file, according to the Safer website. I said, "Oh, that's interesting. So let's go ahead and break this down, as far as the insurance part, right?" And I'm just going by what I see. So let's say their insurance is up for renewal and they have 30 trucks. Let's just say middle of the road number, $15,000. This is just for the trucks, and the equipment and everything else like that. Let's just say $15,000 per unit. Per truck, not per trailer, but per truck. Okay? 30 times 15,000 is 450,000. It's a lot of money. Almost $500,000. Well, insurance company, in commercial insurance world, even in the auto world, in order to start a commercial policy, you need to put at least 20% down. So what's 20% of 450,000? It's $90,000. So they will need, if they want to renew their insurance, I'm just using this as an example. I don't know what's going on with the company. I'll say that again. They need to put up front 90, no matter where it comes from, they need $90,000 to start that commercial policy. Well, where do you get $90,000 if you don't have it on hand? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. A lot of companies run off lines of credit. They may not have the actual cash reserves on hand, so they'll borrow from the bank of what's called a line of credit. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's like a credit card, except it's a bank account that they give you the number, whatever that number is. Let's just say, to keep it simple, they give you a $10,000 line of credit, and then you can draw from that account up to $10,000, but you have to make the principal payment along with the interest payment. It's like a credit card, if that makes sense. So let's just say they need to get another line of credit because they already exhausted another line of credit. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm just giving, different scenarios so the people that are not in business, that are not in the trucking community or any other business community, how this stuff works. let's say they want to get another line of credit. Now, the previous line of credit, let's say they have a low interest rate. Let's just say 5%. It's probably higher than that. Let's just say 5%. In the current environment where the economy is, interest rate from the feds have went up. Okay? So the cost of money, the cost of borrowing money has went up. So if you can't keep up with the previous line, what makes you think you can keep up with another line of credit to keep the business running? So basically, you're just kicking the can down the road, right? So you get what I'm saying? Does this make sense? I hope it does. When I worked for this other dump truck company, and how do I know this information? I'll tell you. When I worked for another dump truck company in the construction business, they weren't just they had dump trucks. That wasn't their only business. Their business was construction. The dump trucks were just to service the jobs that they had. So every year we went to a meeting, usually in the first quarter, when it was cold out, where nothing was when it was slow. I'll say it like that. Wasn't much going on. They would rent a hotel room or conference room, and they would show us these slides, and you got to sit there and try to stay awake from all this stuff. So every year that I remember, they said transportation does not make any money. Well, how do they stay in business if they're not making any money? Well, it's all the other stuff that they do. They would have government contracts and contracts, these billion-dollar contracts. I don't know if they know about billion, but multi-million-dollar contracts that they would do. And the dump truck service was to provide the material to the job site. So it was just kind of like we got the trucks. We'll just, move it ourselves. So, and the guy that was speaking at the time, different times, he says, we operate off of a line of credit. And I believe he said they had $1 million line of credit is to float the costs to complete the job, until they got paid. I don't know how they got paid, if they got, paid like 30, 60, 90 days, or, after so much work was completed, then they got, payment. I don't know how that worked, on that side. But they had $1 million line of credit, and that's how they made payroll and all that kind of stuff. So all this stuff comes into play when you're running a business and a trucking business, because a lot of these guys, even though they're running down the road and it appears like they're doing good, they may be doing good. Some are maybe doing very well. They're just some of them are just kicking the can down the road, putting it on credit, and just digging themselves in deeper, hoping that things are going to get better, which I do hope it will get better. At this point, I don't think it will. So when I say my truck, I can't run my truck for free, I'm at a good place. I don't need to go out and kick the can down the road and all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing it. I can park the truck. I can go work for Mr. Charlie, run his truck. Yes, it's different. It's different. It's a struggle. But I'm still getting paid. And that's all that matters. So it's not a destination. It's just we'll just call this a stepping stone. So we're still moving forward. It's just that everything is not glitz and glamour like we see on the interwebs. See ya.